All right. Okay. All right. Hello, plant friends. So I am here in Lund.
Yes.
Lund, Sweden, and I'm with my buddy Oscar. Oscar is Plant That Plant on Instagram. You want to tell him more about yourself?
Sure thing. And so nice to having you here, Legends of Monstera in Sweden, Lund. And we have one thing in common, and that is our love for plants. And that has led us to this very moment where we sit in my kitchen, and we're going to have a little interview. Yeah. But I love aroids. I love all kinds of plants, but mostly aroids. I studied to be a landscape architecture, and then this whole new world of plants opened up.
Yeah.
And
So Oscar is actually, he's you're a collector, trader, seller.
Yes.
I think he's sort of a big thing in.
Oh
yeah.
You can be one.
So definitely a guy and a name in the European plant scene. So
thank you.
Being in the U.S., I have very little knowledge about what's going on in the European scene. Like what's hot here, how do they do things? I have no idea. So. I'm glad to, have Oscar here. So I think that the way we're going to do this is that I'll tell you something about the American scene, in regards to plants.
Yeah. And
then Oscar can share, his aspect or his viewpoints about the same aspect on the European scene. Okay. Mm-hmm. So in the U.S., I think that the aroid popularity has, I think it's slowly crept up in the last 5 years, and then probably in the last 2, and definitely in the last 1, we saw a huge explosion in popularity and price.
For sure. The very same over here. So I think as long as some plants really do well on the other side of the camera, and there's maybe they're a little bit hard to get a hold of, then in the US they will start to boom, and the same thing goes for the European market, I think.
Yeah.
I guess the trends are a little bit delayed depending on where you are in the world and so on, with availability of plants.
Do you feel like the last couple of years have seen the same really boom in the
aroid things? Yes, for sure. So I guess it's I'm not too much into Etsy and so on, but if there's some plant on eBay that kind of explodes, that will set the new kind of mark for, I don't know where the whole plant business is going to.
I think in the US, you're right. eBay, 1 or 2 crazy eBay auctions, just kind of raises the standard of how much a plant costs. Right?
Yes, it's really growing crazy. But I guess this is with most things, that if there's with art and with furniture, it could be anything. The stock market, if something gets hyped and there's not a lot of it, and the demand is really high, it's everything. But I see a lot of people being really upset about these high prices, and I totally agree. It's really insane when it all it comes from the love for one thing, and then one day it costs a fortune to be able to have something that a couple of years was just worth 1/100th of the price that is today.
So let me see. So in the US, I think that most people still get their plants from nurseries. I think a lot of the more common, maybe even the uncommon plants, most people get them from the nurseries. More and more people are going to I would say, the selling platforms such as eBay or Etsy, and then I think even more people are going towards the private sellers, or the private collector sellers.
Same here. And I think it's good that people are getting their plants out there, and make them more available, and that's great.
Okay, so here's something that might be different between our. Okay, so in the U.S., most of the shipping is done via the U.S. Postal Service or USPS.
Yeah.
And there are other, I guess, shipping companies like FedEx or UPS, more the private or publicly owned ones. But most of the plants that people are getting like shipped is via USPS. And I would say the average shipping time is probably, I would say 2 to 3 days. Sometimes if it's over the weekends, like 4 days priority shipping.
Yeah.
That's if, you're like California to, New York City or something. That's like
really
3 or 4 days.
good. Yeah.
But obviously we're one country. How is it with you guys?
Yeah. It's, so I think we have, in Sweden, we have PostNord, which is the Swedish kind of biggest logistics shipping company. And they can be really good and they can be really bad as well.
Okay.
So, for example, from the southern parts of Sweden to Germany, it can take 2 days, but it can also take 8 days. So it depends a lot on the quantity, and it's not that liable.
Okay.
But then if you go with smaller companies, like for example, DHL.
Okay.
As I guess, or do you have DHL?
DHL is more of an international service. I think sometimes they do deliver straight to the house, but I think most services, once they reach the U.S., it gets transferred to USPS.
Yeah. Okay. But they deliver super quickly. But most of the times it's as long as you're not like shipping when it's holidays or so on, then it go really smoothly. So within Sweden, one day, and then generally within 5 days in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you were, buying...
If you're unlucky, then it can take 1 week. That's why I'm putting a lot of effort into packing these small babies, because they might take a couple of days more.
Okay, so if you were selling or sending a plant to like Spain, that would take generally like 5 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's crazy though, because the distance, it's not, it's a tenth of what it is like. No, not even that. It's so much closer than in the US. But from Cali to New York, for example.
Yeah, but I suspect that you guys have, I'm sure there's like
they got to
countries along
the borders
along the way.
They got to check it out there.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it. That even though it's pretty close, it can take a couple of days more. But I guess like the whole kind of buying things off the internet is way more. You're way further in the US, with the Amazon, with the eBay, and with all those companies knocking in the door. Which as we talked before, the barrier, like getting on the internet and buying something. I think we're getting there more and more now. Okay. So when it comes to both logistics with the shipping companies, they're getting better. People are getting they dare to buy more stuff on the internet now. But it's kind of it feels like it's a bit of the start of it right here, and that you're in the US you're more in there.
I think. Well, again, I don't know what it is here. If the US is more in there, I would say it's pretty recent. I would say it's probably, only like this year or so, because I think
regarding plants or everything.
Regarding just plants, like buying from the internet plants. Like I think even now some people are uncomfortable with that, but with people, more and more people looking for rare and rarer plants, it's just that's the only place you can go, right? Like you have to go to Instagram or Facebook or Etsy or eBay to find these plants. Like they're just...
That's true.
Right? Like if you don't ship them to you as much... I mean, I don't think anyone is a big fan of like having plants shipped to them, right?
No.
But
sure.
yeah, but I think like it's just the U.S. I think the U.S. Consumer or plant consumer is only, I would say, just now getting more and more comfortable with it.
Yeah, same here. Getting there, like still. That's what I noticed. People are maybe getting into their second plant purchase online and stuff like that now. From the last 1 year that I've had my plant shop. Okay. So yeah. But still, I think there are a lot more on the web to explore, or how to say it.
Yeah. There's gonna be more and more people.
Yeah.
That are going to utilize the web-based sources. Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me see. I think we touched this a little earlier off camera.
Yeah.
But I was telling him about. How in the U.S. we're seeing this, this big influx of sellers that sort of just came out of nowhere. Like this came, you wake up one day and there's like 10 new people selling on Instagram or Facebook or eBay or any of the other platforms. Some of these sellers are, they're, I would call them like legitimate sellers, as in like long-term collectors who are just like now starting to like sell, right? Using these platforms to sell. And then there's other people who they found a plant, they're just like flipping it, online. So that's sort of a thing that's happening in the US right now.
Yeah. So, well, a couple of questions if you're new to the whole online plant business, I would guess is how long the plant has been rooted. Yeah. What company are they shipping with? You would like to see a picture of the whole plant and the roots prior to shipping, and so on. If it's not an established seller that has a reputation and so on. Yeah. So if you want to take a risk, then those are some questions that you can ask. Yeah. And also if it doesn't fit with the picture that you got. Then you can also, I think, ask for the money back. But also as well, all plants get stressed while shipped. So if they lose a leaf or so on, it will come back to life if you take care of it a bit. And you can also be sure to now it comes a lot of plant tips here, but Google your plant and make sure to cover it up to enclose humidity and so on to be able to reduce the stress. And then you'll be fine. Yeah. You'll be fine. Go and get those plants on the internet. It's great.
So, so I know that you are, you happen to be ones that you've been selling a lot online, and you've been selling for a while. You have a good reputation out there. What do you recommend, for people who just don't know, who just like decide, hey, I'm going to, buy something today. Yeah. And how do they distinguish you from the 10 other people out there?
Ask plant friends, ask in forums, where did they get their plants from? Ask if someone had a good experience from someone. And look for reviews and you can scroll back if they have Instagram for how long they've been working with plants, and if you so kind of reviews and for how long period of time they've been working on it.
That's a good. I've never thought about that. Checking their Instagram account about how.
Check out Legends of Monstera.
Well, I haven't been as long as yours, so if you're buying a plant, buy from him because he has a better reputation.
No, you can.
One last thing I think I wanted to know, or at least I forgot to ask you before, was so in the U.S. when we're importing plants, and I think a lot more people are considering that option. So when we're importing plants, we need a phyto sanitation certificate to get past customs. Some sellers will sneak it past customs, do like really small boxes so that customs doesn't think it's plants. But if they do think it's plants, you sort of need a phyto sanitation certificate. So it's like 1 to 2 weeks from the time it leaves the seller internationally to customs, and all the paperwork is fine. The Sanitation Certificate is well, filled out and correct, and then to delivery of home, that process usually takes 1 to 2 weeks. As long as the Sanitation Certificate is correct, there's usually no, big issues with the plant getting to you, except for if the plant is poorly shipped or whatever that. How is it with the importing on the European side?
You have to be registered as an EU importer to be able to get the plants imported. So first of all, you gotta have the FIDO from the country.
Yeah.
So let's say you're importing from Indonesia, you gotta have the stamp, and you gotta tick all the boxes for what EU needs for the plants being imported, like dipped in pest killing,
pesticides.
It's gotta be without soil and all that.
Yeah.
So now I'm just, telling you guys all about how it is for you. Yeah. But and then also in Sweden, then they also gotta check the plants, and then they gotta stamp it, and then you gotta pay for customs and all that. So first is Agricultural Service Center in Asia, and customs in Asia, and then it's Agricultural Service Center in Sweden, and then customs in Sweden. And you gotta have be registered at this EU site to be able to import it.
So you can't. So just like a regular person who decides to hey, I want to import tomorrow, can't do that.
No.
Okay.
And there's a new law as well. So from the 15th of December, you cannot send plants within Europe without a certificate as well. So that's breaking news.
What?
Yeah, it's the same. So they're getting way harder now to reduce the risk of spreading pests and so on. So that goes for all plants. So I have to go and get educated at the Agricultural Service Center and so on for being able to make these plants pest-free to ship within the EU as well.
Wow.
Yes. So it's a hustle. It's a hustle.
Okay, so wow, that's a much different. Wow, when I asked this question, I wasn't expecting such a big difference. So it seems okay. So I think the international seller filling out the FIDOs, and doing all the correct things for the country, is I think that part is we share that. And then your agricultural center, you said you need a certificate. Do you have to pay for that certificate to be an importer?
I think I paid. No, now I do.
Okay.
But before, no.
It was free.
But now for the new one, it cost $220 to apply for it.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So you need that certificate saying that you're okay as an importer.
Yeah. And the Agricultural Service Center will, exactly, tell you that it's okay for you to import these plants because you have a company and you can yada yada.
But a regular person can't do that.
No.
So you have to have a company to do it as a business?
You can, to be able to have it as a business, you gotta have a business. Yeah. But as an it's
like a normal
normal person, you can, but then it's another kind of paperwork you have to do.
Wow.
You don't have to be registered, but then other things will apply to you.
Wow. Okay.
But you still have to register.
And then do you have to pay to get your plants out of customs?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Both to Agricultural Service Center and to customs.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
So how much does it cost to get your shipment?
So I paid $350 for, I think it was 100 plants when I just was taking it out. So Agricultural Service Center takes $140 to look at it, and then it was taxes.
Okay. Oh, and that's per
customs,
shipment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
And then you pay for shipment and FIDO for the plants in the country that you're. So it's.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And then half of all the plants die, and you have to pay the rent. That's why the plants are expensive.
Yeah. Wow. This is a lot. This is a lot more complicated than the U.S. system for sure. So wow, I feel like now I don't think anyone in the U.S. should be complaining about how our system is. Do you have like a quarantine time limit or time? Because I think in Australia,
no, they go and check it out directly,
Okay.
stamp it,
Okay.
and ship it.
yeah, I think in Australia
Yeah.
the plants need to be quarantined
Yeah,
for a specific amount of time.
they have to like grow a new little leaf and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
something ridiculous. Yeah. So in the U.S., there's definitely no quarantine period. I think if the phyto isn't there, customs will hold your plant for at least a week, and then they may ship it to you, or they may return it to the seller if you don't have a phyto. So yeah, it's just a quarantine period. But otherwise, if the paperwork is all correct, then you don't need to. There's no quarantine period. But wow, I mean, yeah, we don't have these fees where we have to take the plant out of. No, there's that's crazy. Wow. Okay, I mean, wow, that is probably the most surprising thing so far. Okay, Oscar, is there anything else that you want to say or share?
No, just hearts of love to everyone that's listening to us sitting here mansplaining. No, but really, it was lovely to have you here in Sweden.
Oh my God, thank you. I've learned a lot, and I'm glad to be able to.
This is just so much fun to talk about plants. So I'm just blessed being sitting here talking.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it. I don't know if I'm gonna chop this into, if this is all just gonna run as one episode or not, but yeah, I think that's it. All right.
Okay. Peace out.